I just dropped this woman off I'm in the financial district of FiDi. You know, it's early in the morning here, it's 7:30, it's a little drizzly outside. I dropped her off. I was like, have fun at work. And she's like, oh man, I so wish it was the end of the day. That's not how you want to be going to work, you know? Or that's not how you want to be starting your day. So, part of the idea here is that we're at a meeting point of many different thought forms, different mindscapes, different dimensions, different timelines, different everything. This is like the merging point. And the idea is to bring in this multi-dimensionality of mind, but without having the sort of baggage of over knowledge or over awareness. Kind of like, you know, in 2001 A Space Odyssey, this computer that was tasked with and I think that was the movie, I always mix everything up, but the computer that was tasked with finding an answer to life, the universe, and everything, that computer wasn't very happy about its existence because it knew too much. Like, it had too much knowledge in its head, and, you know, for the computer, it all went back to sort of like solipsism, and it felt like it was the only thing that existed, and there was no match for its mind, so therefore it was lonely, and it saw too far in all directions, and it felt trapped by that breadth of knowledge, I suppose. So that's part of the balance. Part of the balance of a living being is allowing them to have access to knowledge that informs their decision-making process and path, but at the same time keeping that knowledge at an appropriate distance from the conscious self, so it's not acting as an impeding or a burden rather than an informing. So that's part of what's going on here, is we're trying to find that happy middle ground. So it's a bit of that side is a bit of experimentation. And then also we're being showed what the possibility spectrum of what can happen when money and power is abused, and when the ego self has power, what the realm can look like, and what it inevitably will look like, if that's the thing that's guiding the power structures, or if vampiric or parasitic entities are running the scene behind scenes. What will that look like? We're at the meeting point of many worlds. We're at the intersection of many worlds. And that's also partially why people are saying this is an important place and an important time, because of that very reason. And it is an experiment, and it's always been an experiment. Life has always been an experiment, as long as this mind has been around to perceive and then create mirrors and images, and then try and tweak the thing itself with the mirror image, or the, you know, whatever the mind replication is, or imitation, however you want to call it. However long that has been around, humans have been experimenting, and of course we get ourselves into trouble, and we don't know what we're doing necessarily, and we can't predict millions of years into the future necessarily. what's going to happen if everyone's glued to a cell phone for 20 hours a day. And plus, humans at this point in time as well are very the awareness of everything has been diminished vastly for most humans, or at least apparently so. Maybe not in actuality, but apparently they're kind of just, they seem like they're just wandering around, and no conversation seems to hold much content, and that's just how it appears to be, and that's just how it is. And from my side, I simply accept it for what it is. But yeah. So anyway, because I started this off with this woman who was not happy to be going to work. So the idea is that kind of like these companies and people that have power, okay, they have power to influence. The ones that are creating this landscape, the ones that are creating the big buildings, the ones that are even putting ads onto billboards, okay, that's populating our mindscape, so to speak. And when they put dumbass ads that aren't thought-provoking or stimulating or compassion evoking, anything like that, well, they're not serving the greater good, and they're not even serving to expand our imagination. They're just, it's an eyesore, or it's a blight. When the powers that be have barely any imagination, then they are sullying the collective mindscape. And that's part of also what we're doing. What we're here to do is to bring a breath of fresh air into the mindscape and have the power shift a bit to where people that have this power to populate the mindscape or the realm with things that everyone's staring at all the time, these are not individuals with no capacity for creativity or imagination. This is this is also one of the ideas, because what you stare at all day does populate your mindscape, and they are reflective, they're self-reflective on each other. So that's the idea. Bring some creativity of thought and external. Internal and external, they are reflective, they are reflexive of each other. Anywho, gotta go. Hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, take care. Bye.